There he is. Oh. Oh. How's it going, man?
Ryan, right?
Yep.
Chandler Dickinson, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too. It's an honor and a pleasure.
Well, it's a pleasure or an honor to actually have you.
And this is my wife, Serena.
Serena, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Where are you guys coming from?
Ohio, and we're heading all the way up to Maine.
It's a good day to be heading on the roads, huh?
Yeah. It took. Let's see. We were in Williamsburg or Williamsville, something like that. Yeah. It's supposed to be 2 hours to get here on the back roads.
Williamsville's like Buffalo area.
Yeah, just outside, and it took us all day.
Yeah.
We left at like 8:30.
Yeah, it's been nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Normally I'd have you go down back. Actually, your vehicle could take it.
Yeah.
But, so I'm doing some work for them. That foot rail. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, that's the one that you were making on the video.
Yep, that's the foot rail I made.
That's cool. Did you make a full video on that, or was it just a live stream?
Yeah, I might have done it. I don't even remember what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. That was a long and boring project.
Yeah.
And I think I did live stream when I was when I was bending the clips around the cable. I think I did that.
Yeah, I remember you had a section you were testing to see if it was floppy and like welding it up or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, twisting that cable when I went to do that. That was an experience too. It's my old favorite. We saw that. I don't know how long you.
I don't remember that one.
But made that about 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been following your channel on YouTube since.
You're on Facebook too, right? You
yeah. Like in 2015.
Oh, it was from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not all the way back. It was fall 2015, but yeah.
Well, fall was about when I started full time.
Yeah.
When I lost a job.
Yeah. See, it was kind of similar to me, and I was in college at the time.
Oh yeah.
2015, 2016.
I've been spending most of the day trying to get one.
Yeah. Me too, ironically.
College in Ohio?
Yep. I went to University of Akron, and I was, taking mechanical engineering, getting burnt out, and just a lot of stress. And most of the jobs in the field are sitting behind a computer doing CAD. And
watch your step here. There's a piece of
well, weren't you a software engineer?
I'm actually educated as an industrial engineer.
Oh, okay.
An electromechanical engineer.
Oh, that's cool.
And I got into the software world by chance. I ran a software development business for about 10 years, and then
Who'd you get that, honey? Oh. Thank you.
And then I went full-time for what became Honeywell and was a software engineer there. So a lot of these things, I'm sorry it's such a mess.
Don't worry about
it. I actually haven't even begun to settle in.
Yeah.
But there's a basement underneath there.
Oh, really?
So in the summertime, there's actually the creek that's out back runs underneath there. It's like a refrigerator and everything rusts.
Oh.
It's horrible. If I have a project, if I leave it for more than 2 days without finish it rusts. So
wow.
Feel free to. They're sharp. Some of them are most of them are sharp, but
yeah.
This those are all from the videos that I've done. That's the wrench knife.
God. It's one thing to watch it on YouTube, and then just to see it in person is something else.
It's the chainsaw chain right here.
Yeah.
And of course the
Claymore.
My favorite. Yeah.
That took you forever, didn't it?
It took a long time to do. It took me forever to figure out the guard. I did that like 5 or 6 times. I'm still not totally pleased with it, but if you remember, I finished that up when I was getting kicked out of the other shop. So
that
was kind of whatever I could take.
I got it.
So.
Oh, you got. When'd you get that sign? I don't remember that.
I just made that. I don't know, maybe a month or so ago. I don't know if you saw signs or not, but there's a nature trail. It used to be an old railroad track.
Okay.
And I'm going to put that out on the nature trail so the kids can throw it in the river. But
funny how that works.
Well, there's a lot. The trail's actually quite popular. So to get the distillery has a sign out there, and so I'm going to put that out there and say, hey, you want to come up and see me if I'm here doing work? So, and before I knew it, that's the way I do things. It was just going to be a simple sign.
Yeah.
And then sword. Well, I want an arrow to give it some type of indication. So the sword came into play, and then the flowers and the hummingbirds. And before I knew it, I had a few days into it.
Yeah.
Just haven't had the right weather to get out there and put that. Actually, I want to get, because I haven't set this place up. I want the store set up. I want to get back into making, you know, so a lot of the stuff I did at the craft shows from early on. I don't do that anymore.
Some animal traps at one.
Yeah, these are, I turn them into trivets.
Oh, okay. Weld them up solid, basically?
Oh, yeah, well, you know, you heat the spring.
Oh, yeah.
It removes the temper.
Yep.
And then just weld them up solid. I've done a few different things with the old traps.
That's cool.
Actually, something very similar to this. I take the inside out, and so you can mount it over your doorbell. And in order to bring the doorbell, you have to push the fan. I've made welcome mats with a couple of traps as welcome, but you got to walk across the traps.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I love that.
Here's some of my old pans from the pan video.
Yeah, all of the pan videos.
Those suckers are hard to make. They really are.
Yeah. Oh, I think I figured out the difference between raising and sinking.
Raising and
yeah. Sinking.
Go ahead.
Okay. It has to do with the thickness and where you're moving it from and to.
Yep.
And what remains the same as the parent metal. Sinking, you're stretching the center so it gets thinner in the center, but the outside remains the same.
The same thickness.
The same thickness as the parent. Whereas raising, the center remains the same thickness and compressing the outside.
You're upsetting.
Yeah, you're upsetting.
That's the word I'm trying to find.
And
that's the magic of it. Because when you start a pan or any dish like this, it starts at you've seen it, a flat disc. And you need to either change the diameter of the outer area or change the diameter of the inner area. It's simple as that.
Yeah,
and it's just crazy to do. I mean, on a machine with 1/8" steel, just like that done, I'm sure. But.
Yeah, or get into like, that'd be fun. You ever seen metal spinning?
Oh yeah, I've seen it done. I think on stainless pans.
Yeah,
they clamp that sucker in,
and then they take the big awl thing, and that'd be crazy to do hot.
Could you do it hot? I bet you. I don't know if you could do it.
You'd probably have to come up with some way to make the mandrel that you could just leave it mounted on the mandrel and put it in the fire. But then you'd probably have to have a pin through it.
I'm sure it would work just fine hot. Well, you know, they clamp that disc together, but it's an interesting thing, and it's also annoying.
Yeah. So what have you been up to lately?
Just mostly contract work, commissions like that foot rail upstairs. That's actually I think I showed a picture of this. This goes around the top of the bar.
Yeah, like an edging or whatever.
Yeah, glass rail. I haven't been doing. I mean, obviously, I haven't been doing a lot of videos. Actually, I did some casting. I did a live stream, I think, of it a couple of times.
Yeah, I think I commented on a couple of them.
I did. Yeah, I'm sure you did. So I got into that. I actually have a video of me making the foundry so that I could melt it, and that's not out yet.
Yeah, I feel it. I've got a backlog about this haul of old videos that.
Oh yeah.
And it's probably going to take me a solid.
I don't think I put a video out in February yet, but I still have a few days left. And then I bet you over the last month I've spent most of my time trying to make that silly coal furnace.
Is that what that is?
It started, actually, no, I did a video of making it.
I don't remember seeing that.
Oh, no, I didn't, you won't see it.
Oh.
I started out, this was my fire chamber.
Okay, so.
And it was, I just wanted it simple, quick, something to put a little heat in when I'm not here. Gravity fed.
Yeah, like a
pellet stove kind of thing.
Yeah, what's it called? Rocket stove style.
Well, yeah. Well, the rocket stove you have
oh,
air,
riser.
Yeah, you have air. The thermal effects force the air up. But no, I had a blower on this, and it worked good for half an hour, and then the ash would build up. So that I did a whole video on that, thinking that at least I give you guys something to watch.
Yep.
And that turned into this beast over here.
Yeah.
Which.
Oh, jeez.
Which I'm still mastering.
Well, it's still running, so I mean.
Well, I started off with a oscillating fan motor.
Yeah, I saw. I think I saw that on Facebook.
I did a post on Facebook. That wasn't strong enough, so I did find an auger motor, which is definitely strong. Actually, too strong. So then it was feeding too much coal out. So I just picked up a digital timer. I put that in today, and now I'm trying to tweak it out. It just doesn't put out quite enough heat to run this silly shop. I get about 300 down here at the door on a good burn. But it's better than nothing. Yeah, the problem is that everything is so freaking cold that when I come in and it's 20 degrees in here or lower, the damn tables are 20 degrees. You can't touch anything, can't hold on.
You know the secret to that?
What's that?
Ave did a video on that magnetic block heater with like a little timer switch on it. Just stick it on there. Yep. And it'll heat, and a heated workbench is a wonder and a pleasure to work on.
I'm working. This thing's gonna work. I'm gonna tie it into the chimney.
Yeah.
It's at least at this point, I think she'll run all night. The last time I ran it all night, I emptied the hoppers before I got back.
Is this one of Alan's hammers?
No. I'm not even sure where I got that from. That's somebody local.
Okay.
He watched my videos and.
There's a guy in Forging It Forward, Alan Schoonert, something like that. He makes, they're absolutely gorgeous. Like you feel bad to swing them in anger, but he makes them to be used. Them this shape?
Yeah.
Yep. I actually, laminated like that with three layers. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah, I actually preferred this one.
Really?
For moving steel. Yeah. For some, I like this. This is just a little too blocky. And I actually hate I didn't want to use it on steel. I wanted to save it for woodworking, but obviously that one didn't want it. So. Yeah. But these two hammers here. This is John Norwood's hammer. I don't know if you know John.
Yeah.
And.
I know James Davis, who is a friend of John's.
That's been a decent hammer. It's just it's a rounder, flat with.
And it's a 2 pound, so
it's a little on the light side for me.
I usually go with a 4.
Yeah. So no, I don't use the 4 that often. Only if I'm dealing with some heavy stuff.
4 is my go-to. I've got a small one that's 2.5 ish that I use for finer work, especially planishing.
This 2 and that 3 I use the most, but then there's a local farrier. He made me. This was one of his rejects because the eye wasn't right. Great. But he gave that to me, and I love this. What do you call it?
Dog's head, yeah.
I'll tell you that sucker. And it's about. I think it's a little light at 3 pounds, but and it's got a nice round face on it. I love that hammer. That sucker works great.
I've never actually had a dog's head before.
When I saw him, you think that the damn thing would roll in your hand or it just wouldn't hammer. It's perfect. It's all the way forward. And it's just a beautiful.
Like does it feel differently to use?
No, not really.
Okay.
No, just feels like you got the weight up front. It's weight forward on the handle. If for a rounder, that's what I go for. One day I'm going to make a hammer.
Yeah.
I haven't made one yet. I want to do it on my own.
All right.
But then, we can do that too. Yeah, I'd like to do it. I mean, that's how you.
I understand, dude. I totally understand.
Like, I'm going to figure this thing out and do it on my own. But then I would love to do it because one of John's best friends from the military is Eric O'Brien.
Okay.
You don't see him online much, I don't think.
Can't say I've ever heard of him.
He's local.
Okay.
And John comes up twice a year, and Eric goes down twice a year, and they often come here, and John makes hammers, and then Larry, gosh, what's his last name? Hag.
I don't know. Sorry.
He's online.
Okay.
And he's an older guy, and he's only a couple hours away. He wants to come up and have a hammer session. So I think what we'll have is one big hammer party.
Yeah.
One day.
What I was thinking was we could do like a striking team,
right?
Where you just tell us where to smack it, and we bring the muscle.
I don't know if I would have to do that someday, but I've never done it, and I don't know.
It's really easy.
Well, I'm sure it's easy to do, but it's just odd. I'm kind of like,
Used to being on your own?
I'm on my own
Yeah.
in every way that you could possibly imagine. But to do something like that, yeah, I think that would be a great idea. But I would say not till after spring or summer. You know? So I want to. Now I've made a couple of drifts for a couple of hatchets I've made and things like that, but I haven't made an eye punch. And making a hammer, when I do, it's going to be a hard way to do it alone.
You want to do the full flooring and all that?
That's my video. That's kind of how I do things. First times, because it seems like a lot of people like seeing that. Number one, it isn't just bang bang. Hey, look, I got a hammer, you know, and the things that screw up and the challenges. So I want to actually do that experience on my own. But then, I think it'd be a great idea to go ahead and make a set of tools. You can have the video on that, and then give them away or something. Because I owe Forging Forward a lot.
Really?
Oh yeah, the guys on there, they the cost of my move, I would say about a third, maybe I'd say about a third of it came from donations. It was phenomenal.
Well, I'm glad to say that we helped, man.
Yeah, you certainly helped. And I moved, I wasn't in a good spot when I moved. The move and this whole build out process, it burnt me out.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a lot of stress and a lot of, what the hell is it going to do?
It was energy, and then, you know, quite frankly, if you remember one of the chats when I first announced that I had to move, it's like, I don't know if I'm going to do it. I might just pack up and do something else, you know what I mean? And then you bastards made me do it.
We like you too much.
And then all of a sudden I was like, okay, now I'm here, and it was just it was just a lot of, it was weird.
I work for the Boy Scouts during the summer, and I'm the head blacksmith at our local camp.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
7 weeks of day in, day out blacksmithing. I know I can make J-hooks in my sleep, and I know I have. But
that's awesome. Yeah, I've volunteered like that at a couple of museums. Only once, you know, a few hours. It's very rewarding. Of course, I was a Boy Scout leader for 13 years.
I think you mentioned that.
Girl Scout leader for 8 years. So I enjoy showing anybody, kids or adults.
The best part of it for me is when a kid maybe about that tall is all kind of nervous. They don't know how to swing a hammer. You should teach them how to swing a hammer. They hit hot steel, their eyes kind of go wide, and then that moment when they walk away with something in their hand that they made themselves, just beaming, like knowing I can do this.
The ugliest thing in the world, but
they are over the moon, and you know you've just inspired someone to be able to, that they can do something and make
even
something.
If it's not blacksmithing.
Doesn't matter. They can. Do with that is the same thing I'm doing right now. Basically, travel across the country in my Rover and build a trailer with a whole mobile smithing shop in it. And just like visit blacksmiths that are established, kind of know what they're doing, like you learn from them.
I don't know
and then
I know what I'm doing.
Wow.
I got a shop. That's it. I try to pretend to know what I'm doing.
Visit blacksmiths that know more than me, or at least have more experience, and then visit blacksmiths that know nothing through Forging It Forward, and just teach them what I know, and basically ask for dinner somewhere to park for the night and call it even.
If you have a lifestyle that allows you to do that, that would be a cool thing to do. The only thing that I might find myself doing now, outside of normal daily, is panning for gold. I love gold. The problem is there's no gold in New York. I found gold in New York, but there is really no gold. I mean, there's not very much. So.
Nothing to be significant.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's just the experience. Same thing with when I started blacksmithing. It wasn't for profit. It was, can I do that? And then I found out that I could make money at it. So that's why I stopped hiking. It's good for your body, but you're not accomplishing anything, or you're not achieving anything. So my viewers are the only people more than 2 years. Except my kids. Everybody else is somewhere else. And my viewers have only known me for what, 3 or 4 years?
Unless they go really digging back far.
Well, no, as far as, I started making videos in 2013, so 5 years. All of 5 years, making blasting videos. So, it's kind of, you guys are my family in some way. And it's just, I don't know, it's weird to say that, to feel that way, but it's just the way it is.
Is that for casting then? The aluminum bit?
No, that.
The thing that's sticking out of the bucket looks like an intake manifold or something.
Oh, no. This, in my mind, and it might end up for casting. My mind, you clean that sucker up, that would be a beautiful candlestick.
Oh yeah. Are those actually
They
carburetors?
are cards. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right.
What's that off of? Bike
Oh, might be a motorcycle.
then? Yeah, that's all I can think of that would have.
I mean, because I do a lot of that kind of stuff, and I get something.
Maybe get some tube and like and run them out both ends and have like a
candelabra.
have like little almost tea lights with the paper candles in the top there.
I don't know. Yeah, this has been around for a couple of years. I do show you back in the store pistons. I take two
yeah, I
pistons,
saw that.
yeah, and make those into bookends. That's what this whole pile of crap is. It's just
Possibilities.
like that tall. I don't think it's aluminum. It's probably stainless with all the knobs on it. It must be some piece of farm equipment for conditioning. I'm thinking it's a conditioner of some sort. But that would make a beautiful table pedestal.
Yeah.
Right? We got a couple of big wagon wheels out there that that's the bitch of it is I find these things, I go to the scrapyard.
Oh hey!
Yeah. Well, it's like, oh, you can't buy this. You can't. You're never going to see something like that. Or the steel's roached enough. I mean, it would take 20 years of sitting outside, like that whole box of fence posts or fence stakes. They're just so pitted and roached, you can't reproduce that.
Yeah.
And I use those as some type of accent. I make candlestick holders out of those. So, but the casting, that little propane tank over there is the foundry that I made. I do have a video on that because I tried a weed burner.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough, and it was actually scientifically it was very interesting because the weed burner would be the oxygen and gas ratio and the amount of airflow and all those things, which is simple science, and I'm sure there's a book or you know what I mean, but to figure it out, and it's where it would put itself out. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
And then what I ended up doing was taking the triple burners off of this thing and just sticking one of those in, melted the brass like crazy. It was.
Yeah.
So I got that video. I have like 4 videos that I plan to release. I'm not going to release it because there was no issue. It was all fabrication, and it didn't result in anything to learn from.
Well, that's a cobbler's animal over there.
What's that?
I just saw the
Oh
cobbler's
yeah.
animal.
Well, when I was at the others.
Hey, this is an anvil. What can I do with this? All those posts on BFB and whatnot.
Oh yeah. Can I use this as an anvil?
No. Well, not for blacksmithing.
When I was at the other shop, one of the things I wanted to do when I first moved in there, I wanted to make shoes. I mean,
okay.
50% of the reason that I left the professional world to go to blacksmithing was I wanted to make something in the United States. I mean, and steel was one thing I had started. It's like, well, shit, I want to make some shoes. You can't buy shoes that we couldn't buy shoes that are made in the United States. Simple stuff, like tire tread shoes or something, And so I had a whole bunch of cobbler stuff, but I got rid of most of that when I moved here. But I'll do something with that. I don't know what, but I'll do something with it. But I need to clear this all out or find a good place to store it.
Yeah, I wish I had a pile of rusty junk.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm working on it.
It's like, God, when I first started, to be able to find a piece of steel, you didn't have to go to Lowe's and spend $8 for. Like, that's I would have died.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's
what do I got? Like 50 ferry rats there.
Yep.
It's like, I can't believe I have all this stuff and I'm not taking advantage of it yet. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Well, I see your young lady there tapping on her wrist.
Yes. We have to find somewhere to sleep.
Well, there is a place local here. I was originally planning, since it was only 2 hours away,
no kidding.
get up here, talk to you for an hour, and blast out of here halfway up to Vermont. But like with how the roads are, I'm not seeing us getting very far tonight anyway, so we might just crash locally somewhere. Find a parking lot at a Walmart or something. That won't pick us out.
He's gonna sleep in the Land Rover? That's what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Got everything to camp in the back of it.
Oh, no
we had to do that at our house before we went, head off.
And the way we
It
did
was
it,
cold.
we got the tailgate comes out, and then my mom actually sewed up a little. She called it a toe tent, basically to cover the last 2 feet for our feet over that, and then we got a little awning that comes down and covers up the back door because I don't have the lift gate, the cat flap that I want.
That's funny as hell.
You
guys are brave. God, to be young again.
Yeah. I can't wait to go home. I'm gonna sleep like a bear.
Yeah. when I go to make one, I'll look for this thing, and it's what the freak is it?
Don't you love it when that happens?
Well, obviously I haven't made. I don't think it's the herb choppers. It is the herb chopper.
Oh, putting the curve in it?
When I go to bend the handle. Alright, so I make the herb chopper and it has a tail on it.
Oh, you put the chopper on the wood and then you hammer the...
I put the handle in the vise and then I need to bend that. I can show you on the way.
Right.
That's what it does. I'm so much happier that I know that what that's for. I'm telling you, my brain doesn't work very well.
Oh, tell me about it.
I thought I got an herb chopper in here somewhere. So, this is a different model. Usually they come
I remember when you made
right?
that one.
But this tail is like this, and to get that 90-degree bend, I really need to pull on it. And if I pull the hot tail, it curves too much. So I put the tail in the vise, and with that block of wood, I bend it right over. That's what that's for. Not this style. I like that style better.
Yeah. It's still, I'm talking to the man himself, but it's still something else to just see the projects that I've watched over time.
Well, they're not. To me, I don't see them. I think they're less impressive than.
Well, that's because you made them.
Yeah, maybe.
That's because you made them. You didn't sit there for an hour watching someone else struggle through them, and then finally see them in person.
Almost fell. Oops.